Goldilocks and the Three Bears. In a pretty little house in a large forest, a long time ago, there lived three bears: Father Bear, Mother Bear, and Baby Bear. One day, the bears' breakfast porridge was so hot that they went for a walk while it cooled. At the same time, a little girl named Goldilocks went for a walk also, and she saw the house. Goldilocks peeped through the keyhole but could not see very much, which made her all the more curious to see what was inside the tiny house. And she wondered who could live there. Goldilocks looked through the little window and could see that no one was at home. So she went to the door and tried the handle. To her great surprise, the door opened. So she walked into the house. The first room she entered was the bear's dining room. On the table, she saw three bowls of porridge. One was very large, the second was a little smaller, and the third a very tiny one. And as she felt hungry after her long walk, she thought she would try the porridge. First, she tried the large bowl, but the porridge was too hot. Then she tried the second. This porridge has gone quite cold, she said. I do not like it. There was only the tiny wee bowl left, and Goldilocks filled the little spoon with porridge and popped it into her mouth. The porridge in this bowl was so exactly right that Goldilocks ate up every scrap. After that, she felt tired, and so she went to the great big chair to sit down on it. But it was too big, and the cushion was too hard for her. Next, Goldilocks tried the middle sized chair, but this one was so soft that the little girl almost got lost in it. That left the tiny wee chair, and Goldilocks went and sat down on it. This was just the right size for Goldilocks, but alas, she was not the right size for it. Crack! One of the legs snapped off, and the little girl fell to the floor. I must have a rest, decided Goldilocks. I will go upstairs and see if the beds are any better than the chairs. She climbed up the stairs and went to the first bed, which was the great big one. Goldilocks tried to climb up onto it, but it was so high up that she could not manage it. I will try the smaller bed, she said. Goldilocks went to the middle sized bed. She got into this one quite easily, but it was far too soft and warm, and the little girl did not like it. I will try the tiny bed, sighed Goldilocks. She went to the tiny wee bed and climbed inside it. Then she pulled the pretty quilt over herself and curled up happily. This bed is just right, she murmured, and she went off to sleep. In the meantime, the bears had finished their walk and they turned to go home to eat up their porridge. When they came to their little house, they found the door wide open. Father Bear went up to his great big bowl of porridge. Someone has been eating my porridge, he roared. Mother Bear went and looked at her middle sized bowl. Someone has been eating my porridge, she growled. Baby Bear hurried to his tiny wee bowl. Someone has been tasting my porridge, he squealed, and they have eaten it all up. Then Father Bear saw that the cushion in his chair had been moved. Someone has been sitting on my chair, he roared. Mother Bear went to her middle sized chair and saw that the seat was rumpled. Someone has been sitting on my chair, she growled. Baby Bear went to his tiny wee chair. Someone has been sitting on my chair. He squeaked, and they have broken it. Father Bear was now very angry indeed. He picked up the little chair to see if he could mend it, but he quickly put it down again, saying, "We must look all over the house in case anyone is still here." The three bears peered into every corner of the dining room and the kitchen, but they could not find anyone. So they climbed up the stairs to the bedroom. Father Bear went to his great big bed and saw that the cover was crumpled. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," he roared. Mother Bear hurried to her middle sized bed and saw the creased patchwork quilt. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," she growled. Baby Bear ran to his tiny wee bed and saw that there was something under his quilt. He looked closer, and there was Goldilocks fast asleep, cuddling one of his toys. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," he squealed, "and here she is." At the sound of Baby Bear's loud, squeaky voice, Goldilocks awakened with a start. She quickly sat up and stared at the tiny wee baby bear, and he stared back at her. Goldilocks, knowing she should not be there, jumped out of the bed and ran down the stairs and out of the little house as fast as she could. The three bears went after her, but she ran so quickly that they could not have caught her if they had tried. So they went back into their little house and closed the door. Mother Bear went upstairs to tidy the beds. Then she hurried downstairs to start making some fresh porridge, for they were all very hungry by now. Father Bear was busy too. He made a new leg for Baby Bear's chair so that it was as good as new. Baby Bear, however, just stood looking out of the window. He was feeling rather sad, for he thought Goldilocks was beautiful and he would have liked her for a playmate.